What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and welcome to episode 62 of All Hail the King. This episode is going to feature Hyperion, and trust me, it's going to have some very exciting fights. You may even see me lose one or two, so you're definitely going to want to watch till the end. Then, as always, I invite you to check out the From the Helicarrier podcast, and there will be a link to the corresponding podcast in the description below. Now, for our first team up, we're trying Hyperion out with Nurkod, Breaker of Oceans. In this video, we're just going to mix things up a bit, but Nurkod actually turns out to be quite a good teammate for Hyperion. This is for a number of reasons, but she has pressure points. She's going to apply Rising Up to all allies, and then her Preserver, which will cause our entire team to keep their buffs. So this really helps Hyperion build up his level 9. But truthfully, it's just great in general for all sorts of purposes. Now, after we call the seas, we're going to be setting up all her moves in general, including that Rising Up on her level 1. We have Thorn set up on that ability as well, so Quicksilver is going to start taking bleeding as well as drowning. Those debuffs will definitely help you out as far as someone who attacks a lot, so it's perfectly suited for combating Quicksilver. Unfortunately, their agent's going to follow up with a Relentless Rapier, and Nurkod is knocked out already. Okay, well, originally we were planning on her level 9 taking out someone, but she couldn't even make it past Quicksilver's turns. So, with Hyperion, we'll try to use our level 6 and gain his Tactician power. But it misses, and he takes a big counter. Honestly, this is not looking good. The enemy agent's going to use the Vigilante Mask, followed by the Superior Combat Sensor. So he's apparently going through the entire Arachnid set. Okay, so I think we know most of his setup at this point. And he'll follow that with the Relentless Rapier, of course. That means it's those 3 items and the Cosmic Cardinal. At least he doesn't have the cube. So on my agent's turn, we're going to use the Neuropurge. That should help us out as far as placing off balance and pressure points debuffs. So in other words, it should boost Hyperion's level 9, if Hyperion lives. So to further help, we'll use the Blackest Void, and I really hope that Quicksilver takes down his own agent. That would be huge. First, he went with a tag team and took Drowning and Bleeding. And then on his next attack, he's going to use Blinding Punches, and it does indeed knock out his own agent. Hyperion is still alive, but Psylocke is yet to act. Great, she's a level 15, so she uses Mental Coordination and gets to attack. Fortunately, Hyperion lives through it all, and we're going to use his Hubbled. So here comes that AoE attack. It takes down Quicksilver and severely cripples Psylocke. Then with his extra turn, we'll knock her out easily. So I think that first fight definitely showed off Hyperion's strengths, and I think he performed quite well. In this next team up, we're trying out Cable, who also has pressure points, can apply Flanked, and he can give Hyperion an extra turn. So that was our thought process behind this team up. Since our man of the video gets to go first, we're going to use our level 6 on Rocket. Now Rocket is definitely the character that we're most worried about, and that's because he triggers all those beat-its. So in turn, we're going to go after him first, hopefully knocking him out before we get taken down. I do have to say though, the AI is playing this perfectly. They set up Pyrophoric, and then they get to work using their level 1. So by the end of this, we're going to have a bunch of dots, and we're going to take a lot of damage as well. My agent gets the very next turn, and he barely hangs on. So we know he's going to die after this round. I'm guessing the only thing we can do is use the Neuropurge and the Blackest Void, and then just hope that we can make this at least a respectable fight. I'll be honest with you though, it is not looking good. With Cable's turn though, we're going to use his level 9 on Hyperion, and then we're probably going to go ahead and flank Rocket Raccoon. We debated using it on Spider-Man Noir, and unfortunately it won't work on the enemy agent. But ultimately I think our best bet is Rocket. After that, with Hyperion's turn, we honestly probably should have used our level 1. But instead, we go right to our Atomic Vision. And I did that because I figured he does have Flanked, so we'll get to use our level 1 as a follow-up attack anyways. Sadly though, we knock him out. So with our next attack, we'll just use Fists of Fusion on Spider-Man Noir, and because of Scrapper sentiment, he'll do another Fists of Fusion. Okay, so things are looking a little bit better for my team. That is, until the enemy agent just used the Warm Zephyr. So all my setup debuffs are gone. That was definitely bad, but I guess we'll just have to use our level 1 once again on Spider-Man Noir. Now because of the Watchful Eye, we do have a small problem when it comes to the enemy agent. But we can still hit with our level 9 and our level 2. And in this case, we're going to use that Hubble to take down Spidey Noir and hopefully at least somewhat injure the agent. Alright, well, we knew my agent wasn't going to live, but it was a nice bonus that gave us Cable for one more attack. With it, I just figured let's do all the damage we can, and we use a plasma rifle. But I didn't expect that Mandible to finish us instantly. Then on the enemy agent's turn, they use the Hailstorm, which will stop our follow-up attacks. And it's going to cause bleeding as well. Then because of our counter, they end up hitting us with a combo breaker. The sad thing is our counter wouldn't even damage them. And on their actual turn, they use another Mandible, which of course would cause a counter, so we get hit with combo breaker yet again. Now this one was shaping up to be a real heartbreaking loss, but our atomic vision absolutely disintegrates the enemy agent, and we pull off yet another win. So for our third and final team up, we're going back to Iron Fist and Hyperion. And I just love Iron Fist, I have to admit. He's going to be my next level 15, but he does have some training time left. So one thing we're going to try, and I do want to show you, is after using Heart of Shou Lao, you can use his level 2, which is Stealthy, to attack an Enchantress no matter what the enemy team has, Protector or not. Then if he's a Scrapper, he's going to do his follow-up attack, and it quite often will take Enchantress out. If their stats are too high, then he may not quite make it. But in this case, the enemy team doesn't have a Protector, so on my agent's turn, we're going to try the Skeptic, and I'm really hoping we finish her off. Of course it misses! So the most annoying character in the game gets to live, and she's going to heal back a ton of health. Now that's just my luck. It seriously would have made a huge difference if we only took her out. Oh, and it's going to get even better. We tried to interrupt her. She still somehow manages to live, and so she still gets to fire one magic missile. You know what, the only option with Hyperion now is to go ahead and use our level 9, and that does at least knock her out, even though that's not quite the way I planned it. Alright, so now, believe it or not, we're still going to have a pretty lengthy fight on our hands. That's of course thanks to Pestilence Beast, and these debuffs like Smitten and Mind Control remaining on our team. So I figured with Iron Fist, let's just go ahead and heal my agent, and we'll get him back to full health, at least for now. After that, the evil enemy agent's going to use the Fire Tornado, and he exhausts our team. Now that's going to be somewhat annoying, but we don't use too many quick actions. And also Hyperion's going to counter with his Fists of Fusion. Next though, he does use the Light Fantastic, and that is much more annoying. Fortunately, we saved the Blackest Void, so we're just going to remove that right away. Then with Hyperion, we use our level 6 Solar Strike, and that will place Near Fatal on the Horseman of Pestilence. All we have to do is get him to 20% health and he'll die. So that's mostly what we were concerned with at this point. Then after the Mask of the Red Death, he's going to go with Heart of Darkness on our Iron Fist, but he fortunately does miss. So we'll come right back with our level 1. I was thinking between this and Dots he most likely should go below 20%, but in hindsight I could have used my level 2. Anyways though, after this the agent's up next, and he goes with Hailstorm, which will stop our follow-up attacks. Once again, quite annoying. And then after that, well, he's going to take a counter, then he uses Staff of Asclepios. So that definitely is not great news for our team. Then since Beast is still alive, we're going to use Improbability Field instead of Light Fantastic, because we're saving that until after the Horseman of Pestilence is gone. But guess what? Hyperion once again is going to be the hero. First, by using his Hubble to take down the wretched Horseman of Pestilence. And after that, it's time for atomic vision on the enemy agent. It doesn't quite kill him, but he's going to easily die to dots. So with Iron Fist, we'll go ahead and use a Praying Lotus, finally getting rid of our debuffs. And I kinda did that because that was our mission this entire time. So there you have it, another win in the books for Team Hyperion. And with that, it's time to end the video. So I want to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.